Hi, you all. Thank you so much for taking out the time to visit the Overcoming Her YouTube channel. My name is Simone Adrian, and I am the founder of Overcoming Her. Now, I'm sure you clicked in this video because somewhere you heard about our Single, Saved, and Preparing for Love webinar series that took place February the 12th through the 16th. It included amazing speakers like Rachel Gilder, myself, Dr. Eddie Connor, Candace Janae, and Christy Lyles, and we talked about all different topics from healing from past hurt and pain to purity and abstinence, identifying your purpose, making sure you have self-confidence, and dating with discernment. But before we get into that, there is something that I am so excited to tell you guys about that will be launching March 1st, 2018. And that is the Overcomer Club. Yep, you heard it right. The Overcomer Club. So if you are in need of a support group of like-minded women, if you want to have access to information that will feed your spirit and your soul, that will give you the tools and equip you with the things necessary to live a life of purpose and passion, then the Overcomer Club is for you. Now, enrollment will open on Monday, February the 19th, and the link to the website is down in the description, or you can visit theovercomerclub.com for more details. I look forward to you guys taking a look at this, finding out if it's something that will be beneficial for your life, and being some of the first people that take advantage of what it is that we have going on. Thank you again, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely what Overcoming Her is all about. So that way you guys are familiar with me and what you have decided to sign up and be a part of. So my name is Simone Adrian. I am the founder of Overcoming Her, and this is a vision that came to me probably about 2 years ago. And it was something that I kind of ran from for a long time. And through the help of Rachel herself, she actually helped me bring my vision to life and is a part of what you guys see today. And so I'm fortunate enough to call her my friend. And so I'm excited that she decided to sign up to be a part of this and share with you guys as well. And so what we've been able to do over the last 8 or 9 months is actually develop something that allows me to be transparent about what life has been like, share my journey with you guys, and then also provide tools and resources that will help you navigate your own life obstacles, right? Everybody knows life gets in the way, right? Things happen, challenges come, and that's all a part of it. But the most important thing is, how are you going to operate, or how are you going to handle those situations when they arise, or when you're placed in them, right? Or when you have to figure out how to overcome your own obstacle. What I learned along the way and along my journey in life is that most of the things that I would come up against, right, I was the common denominator in all of them. So I had to overcome myself. I had to overcome my thinking. I had to overcome my decision making. Hence where Overcoming Her came from. And so I'm so excited that you guys have decided to subscribe, that you follow, that you like, that you share with everyone, because this is definitely a community that we do not just want to motivate you, but we actually want to provide you with tools and resources. And so without further ado, I definitely want to take a moment to introduce Rachel G to all of you guys. If you don't follow her already on social media, you can find her at @IAM_Rachel G. She is a relationship expert, international celebrity relationship coach, dating coach, marriage coach, and she is just an amazing person all the way around. And so I'm so excited to have her here, and I am going to turn over the floor to Miss Rachel G. How are you doing tonight, ma'am?
Hey, I'm wonderful, Simone. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I am doing good, good, good. So this really took off our single save and preparing for love series. We had so many people sign up to be a part of this. And so I know that you are excited to be here and that you are ready to bless these ladies with some good information tonight.
I am. I am. Let me first say this, you guys. You definitely want to stay connected to Simone. You definitely want to stay connected to Overcoming Her and what they are about to do. It's about to be some amazing things. Listen, to be honest with you guys, she hasn't even started tapping into the greatness. I just appreciate her for allowing me to be her.
There you go. We can hear you now. Okay, go ahead.
For allowing me to be her mentor and her friend. You guys, I really appreciate that. And I just think it's awesome all within itself, being connected to her. You definitely, you guys, want to become a part of Overcoming Her. So trust me, go ahead and subscribe to her newsletter. Go ahead and, stay connected on all the social media outlets that you can, because you're going to need her motivation and you're going to be inspired by her testimony, her story, and all the things that she's doing. I am Rachel G, relationship expert, mentor, celebrity life coach, and all that good stuff. But I'm just Rachel, if that's okay with y'all. Can I just be Rachel on tonight? I'm excited to be a part of this webinar. Excited to start this thing off right. Hey, I'm excited to do all those things. I just like to have fun, you guys, and that's just it. So I understand tonight's topic is I'm here to talk about healing. I'm here to talk about healing, and I know a lot of you are single. It's the week of love. It's the week where a lot of people are in their feelings, trying to figure out why they have not been found, what's going on in their life, when will they be found, where is the love? You feel like God has let you down, like, where art thou, oh Lord? I understand that a lot of you guys are probably thinking those things, but guess what? It's not the end of the world, because it's better to be by yourself than in a relationship alone. And what I mean by that is a lot of people are with people, but they're not technically happy. They're not technically where they want to be in their love life. But they have somebody just taking up space just to say, oh, you know what? I'm not single. I have someone. But a lot of people that are going to bed at night are laying next to somebody and they're single-minded. So in this time of your singleness, you being saved, there's a certain thing you need to do, and you need to check yourself. I say it all the time. I did a conference on last week for Single, Save, and Complete. And one of the things I told the people was God propels prepared people. And that's something I want everybody on here to understand, that a lot of you are wondering why you have not been found. A lot of you are wondering when you're going to be found. A lot of you are wondering, has God forgotten about you? Let me tell you this. God does everything in his timing. And one of the things God does in his timing is he makes sure that your timing connects with his timing. And when you are ready, that's when things are going to manifest in your season. A mother doesn't give birth unless her time is there. The water breaks when her time has come. One of the things you guys have to understand is when you are prepared, that's when you are propelled to be in the relationship that God has for you. So tonight I want to talk about what happens if you are not in a relationship right now. What's going on in your life? Well, I can say this: you're not prepared. It's one thing to be ready, but it's another thing to be prepared. You can be ready for a lot of things. I'm ready for $1 million. I'm ready for my show. I'm ready for this. We're all ready for the things that we want in life. But truth be told, are you really prepared to hold on to the things that God has for you? If he gives you your spouse, this is one of the questions I ask all of my clients. I have a program called I'm Single Now What? And I help people understand their singleness. And one of the things I ask them, because they all tell me, Coach Rachel, I'm ready to be in a relationship. I'm ready to be loved. I'm ready for somebody. So my question is, if he knocks on your door right now, if God allowed the UPS man or the FedEx man to be your husband, and if he knocks on your door right now, are you prepared to be a wife? Because the Bible says when a man findeth the wife, he finds a good thing. So evidently, if you have not been found, it's that you're not 100% clicking into wife. And a lot of people have to understand when you click into wife, it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you can cook. I got cooking down. I got cleaning down. I got my credit score up. I know what I bring to the table. I got a table. Not only have a dining table, I have a kitchen table. I have a bassinet. I have all types of things. I'm prepared. But are you prepared spiritually? Are you prepared mentally? Are you prepared emotionally to be able to handle the things that you need to handle in your life? Because a relationship doesn't just say, I said it last night on the Wifey in Training fan page. I said this last night and I told people, I said, the problem people have to understand is everybody wants to be prepared and ready for a relationship, but they're not ready to handle the things that come along with relationships. And you can tell when a person isn't ready to handle the things that are coming along with relationship. I'm here tonight to talk about healing. One of the major things is a lot of people are not healed. You know you're not healed if you can think of the person that hurt you, that ex that hurt you, and your stomach turned, and you say, I can't stand them, or you see them on social media and you mad that they're living their life, or if you see them in public and you want to go the other way, you don't even want to speak to them. If you're at a place right now and you say, I cannot stand him, or I cannot stand her, or why did I even talk to him? Why did I even talk to her? You're at a place right now where you aren't healed. So anybody that you connect with are going to be a part of what you're dealing with and what you're going through in your present, which means you're going to love them based on your past. You're going to have arguments with them based on your past. You're going to have fun with them based on your past. I remember there was a time in my life when I said, you know what, I don't want to do anything you did with your ex. If you went to the nail shop, this nail shop with your ex to get your feet done, we're not going there. If you went out to eat, you cannot avoid life all because you don't want to do what somebody else did with their ex. It's a free world. Everybody has to go to Walmart, so you're not going to go to Walmart because they went to Walmart with their ex. We have to get over what happened in the past, and the only way you're going to get over what happened in the past, you have to heal. One of the major things is you have to heal from your past hurt. And sometimes your past hurt is not about relationships. Your past hurt is about you. People always pray. Women always pray. Lord, I want you to prepare me for my husband. Lord, prepare my husband for me. I want you to make sure he's a praying man. I want you to make sure he's a God-fearing man. Lord, I want him to be this. I want him to be that. All the times you are praying for God to do something for a man, you're missing out on what God is trying to do in your life, which means you've already prayed for your husband, but you have not prayed for yourself. You've already prayed that God aligns you with your husband. You've already prayed and told God how you want your husband to be, but you within yourself have not prayed and told God, God, fix me, fix my mind, fix my mouth, fix my thinking, fix the way I pray, fix the way I talk, fix the way I react. There comes a time in your life where you have to focus on you, because while God is preparing you on the prayers that you have for yourself, God is also preparing your spouse that he has for you. But a lot of you are wasting time because you're spending your prayers right now praying for a man, but in all reality, you're not a wife. And again, the Bible says when a man findeth a wife, he finds a good thing and obtains favor. So a part of that favor comes in with you being 100% whole. So one of the things you want to do is you want to check yourself. I don't know if you guys have pen and paper on this webinar tonight, but if you do, good. If you don't, get some. Because I'm going to give you a few things. One of the first steps, I'm going to actually do something that I do in my I'm Single Now What program. Because I believe a lot of people think that singleness is all about how to date. But in singleness, the Bible says when you're taking care of God's house, he takes care of your house. When you're taking care of things that you need to take care of with God, when you're getting yourself together with God, you then find yourself being found. Nobody out there that's being found in the Bible was looking to be found. Ruth never was looking to be found. She was trying to be in her purpose. She was trying to walk in her calling. She had no idea that Boaz was even paying any attention to him. Had Esther known that she was going to be with the king, she probably would have prepared herself a different way. But she was doing all that she knew how to do, and that was being on her knees, praying to God, seeking God. And let me just put this little nugget in. God will prepare you in your singleness for what you're getting ready to do in your actual relationship. You guys need an example? Here we go. I'll give you this. Esther. One of the things about Esther was she had a prayer life. But what happened whenever the King Xerxes found out that he was going to have her people killed? What did she say? She says, I'm going to go on a fast, and if I perish, let me perish. She resorted back to the thing that she knew. If she knew nothing else, she knew that God brought me to this position, and God's going to keep me in this position. And if it's not of God, I'm still going to be in God. See, sometimes you have to understand this. When you give everything to God, then everything you have is in God's hands. And God is going to make sure everything is taken care of. So a lot of you out there, if you're worried about your this week and your singleness, you're on this webinar and you're saying, you know what? I'm still at a place in my life where I'm just upset that I have to take myself out to eat. I'm still at a place to where I'm upset because I don't have anybody buying me roses. Again, God is preparing you to propel you into the promising relationship that he has for you. But you cannot allow yourself to back yourself up, to stop up your process in you being found. It's all a matter of you, because trust me, if you are praying for God to align and connect you, God is going to connect you. And one of the things I had to do with myself, I had to check myself. When I found that I really wanted to actually be in a relationship, I just didn't want to help people with love. I wanted to be in love myself too. I had to then step back and check myself. I had to see, okay, you know what, even though I'm the relationship expert, who am I as a person that needs to be a wife? See, there's certain things, because everybody's like, oh, you can do relationships. I can do relationships. I can help people with relationships. I can help people mend their marriage. I have advice. I have things that I have learned from school to help me be the person that I am. But how many of you know a police officer never brings work home? How many of you know a lawyer never brings work home? A relationship expert shouldn't have to bring work home. She still has to be herself. She still has to be a woman that's prepared to be a wife. So there was things that I had to do myself. And one of the things you guys have to understand is it is so you trust God for everything else. You trust God to pay your bills, to make sure you're aligned in life. Why not trust God to make sure everything you have within yourself is needed for your spouse? Just because you can pray, just because you are a man or woman of God, just because you go to church, just because you shout, just because you sing, just because you know the Bible facts, just because you know all these things, that's spiritual. You still have a self side of yourself. And the self side of you has to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Or are you going to take on an assignment in a relationship? And this is my thing. I've just really started really tapping into helping Christians and single Christians, because you have so many singles. The first thing they want to say is, I'm in God. I don't need a man. It's just me and Jesus. I'm going to focus on what the Lord wants me to do, and I'm going to be busy in God. I don't have to have anybody to be satisfied. And how many of you know that's not necessarily the case? I tell people all the time, the reason why you don't want to be in a relationship is because you don't want to hurt the way you hurt. So you need to change your prayers. Just learn how to have a real relationship with God and say, God, you know what? I want to be in a relationship, but help me so I won't be hurt like I was the last time. Help me so I won't fall for the last type of man. Help me so I don't have to deal with what I dealt with in the past. Because how many of you know he is a helper if you ask him for help? You ask him to help pay your bills. You ask him to help stabilize your mind. You ask him for the things that you need. How about ask God to help you do what you need to do so you are healed to be the woman or the man that you need to be for your spouse? It's okay to ask God for help. That's what he's there for. He wants to help you. He wants to make sure you have everything you need within your life. We as Christians have to get off our high horse of thinking that just because we say we good. And sometimes it's the Christians are the most hurted, the people that are hurting the most, the people that are unhealed the most. You can be delivered but still not healed. That's why you stay on your knees so much. That's why you pray so much, begging and seeking God so you won't have to have that familiar feeling. But how many of you know when you ask God and when you really get intimate with God and you tell God, I know me being healed, God, not only helps me be the woman or the man that I need to be in a relationship, but it also helps me be the woman or the man that I need to be for you, because I'm not operating like a broken crayon that's still trying to color and taint my spirit on people. I'm not operating less than. I want all that you have for me. So one thing you guys have to understand, being single, being saved, and preparing yourself to be loved and being healed just doesn't mean you're being healed to be in a relationship. It also means you're being healed to be a powerhouse. You're being healed to be an anointed, chosen vessel for God. God can use you at your greatest when you are healed. So it's not about doing something just to be in a relationship. It's about doing something to have the relationship with the number one man in your life, which is God. And some people say, don't get it twisted when you say, oh, it's me and God. My boyfriend is Jesus. And Jesus looking at you like, I put somebody to sleep for you. You are the rib and the helpmate to somebody. They can't even say, whoa, man, because you're too busy saying amen. But you have to get up and realize that I have a man for you. Don't act so saved and so dignified and so caught up in trying to make sure you are spiritually in tune for the public, but you are out of tune in a relationship world. Christians, and I will be honest and serious, women are very hard to date because you don't want to listen. Everything is spiritual, which it should be. You should have a relationship with God. You should seek and consult God. But at the same time, there comes a time in your life where you're going to have some balance. When that man is wanting to watch football, you can't say, let's have Bible study. There is a time and a place for everything. So while you are single and while you are healing, also understand the facts of life. Also understand what's going on in life. Also understand what you need to know how to do, because you have to be able to stimulate a man's mental intellect. I'm still on healing. You have to be able to stimulate a man's mental intellect. You have to be able to talk about how the Dow and the stocks went down. You have to be able to talk about how the trade went crazy for basketball the other day. You have to be able to ask and to talk about the reason why Thomas got traded. You know, why did Dwight go all the way back to the Heat? Those are questions y'all need to know. Because one thing about it, there's so many entities to a relationship. You have to be able to pray together. You have to be able to pray separately. You have to be able to have an intimate relationship about life and an intimate relationship about God. And some of you lose men on the time of, okay, I can pray, but when it's time for us to talk about life, I can't talk about life. So then he's like, okay, you know what? I'm not attracted to her. I'm attracted to her spiritually. So maybe I just need to make her a sister or a prayer warrior. But you have the characteristic of wife, but you're too busy trying to make sure that you're spiritually someone's wife, but you're missing the gap on making sure that you are connected to the world and you are connected to things that are going on. Because again, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. He finds a woman that's connected all the way around him. He finds a female version of him. He finds somebody that he can pray with. He finds somebody that he can talk to. He finds somebody that's his friend. He finds somebody that's his best friend. Somebody that even when he wants to stay home and basketball out and watch basketball with the fellas because his girl can watch basketball with him. But if you are at a place thinking that you have it all together, I can tell you right now, you within yourself have not healed. You within yourself are still living on times past. You within yourself are still living on who hurt you, why they hurt you, and what you not gonna do. I gave in to the last man and I played, games and went out here with the last man. And that I did once I did that, he wasn't interested. It wasn't good enough for him. But let me tell you something. This is something that I tell all my clients a part of healing. You have to backtrack and you have to find the blessing in the lesson. Because so many people feel like Christians, listen to this because I may hurt some feelings, some people may exist, and that's okay. A lot of Christians feel like love is a curse. That's the first thing they want to say. I don't want to be in love. I don't want to love anymore. It's just me and Jesus. Because the last man I love hurt me, so I don't want to love. No, let me tell you something. Valentine's Day is coming up. Valentines. The week is here. So a lot of you are bored. A lot of you are saying, if I just had somebody, slide in my DM, ask me if I want to go out to eat, I'm going to be hungry something different. There's nothing wrong with casually dating. I do believe there's so many topics going on this week. One of the topics on Friday is going to be dating with discernment. You definitely want to be on there. But some of you don't even consult God, even in your dating, in your friend zone time. You don't even ask God if this person is somebody that needs to be a part of your life. Because some of you are with distractions. You don't realize they are distractions until they are gone. Then you realize, you know what? They were somebody that were distracting me all along from taking me away from where God wanted me to be. So if you're on this webinar tonight and you're trying to figure out, okay, maybe I need to just go out and date Tom because, you know, he's been liking my posts on Instagram. He's been, you know, sliding my DM and being real casual and nice. And he's such a wonderful man of God. Maybe I should just go. I don't care if he's a man of God. He can be a man of God, but not your man of God. So you don't need to go out and date him just because he's a man of God. So then you leave God at home and you go out with the man. And then months go by and you're with the man and you're like tweet saying, oops, there goes my head over my skirt. Oh my, trying to figure out what happened. Not realizing that you left God a long time ago to get in a relationship that God was not in. Now all of a sudden you're back and your heart is broken and you're telling God, God, you know, dating isn't for me. And God's looking at you like, no, dating without discernment, dating without me isn't for you. Because had you consulted me and had you asked me if this man was for you, I would have told you. It makes no sense, ladies, on here. If you're on this Zoom right now, it makes no sense for you to have a relationship with God around everything else in your life. But when it comes down to being in an intimate relationship with somebody that he has for you, that's going to come into your life and help you prepare to be the person that you need to be, because marriage is ministry. If you're not consulting God on who he wants you to be with in your love life, you are messing up your whole life. Because matter of the heart will have you at a place where you don't even want to do anything. You question your relationship with God. You question the voice of God. You question everything that God is trying to do in your life. When all you had to do from the beginning is ask God, God, should I go out with Tom? God, should I go out with Ray Ray? Should I even go out and dine with him right now? And God will let you know, now is not the time. And you've saved yourself a whole year of heartache. You save yourself from hiring somebody like me to help you heal so you can love again. You save yourself from going to somebody like Overcoming Hurt to figure out how you can overcome the hurt. You saving yourself, which we are here to help you. But yet and still, if you go to the person who's here to help you first, you don't have to need the help from man, because God will align you and he will tell you what you need to do. Your singleness is not a time for you to be pitied. Your singleness is not a time for you to try to misunderstand what God is trying to get you to understand in your life. He's trying to take you somewhere. He's trying to prepare you for the person he has for you. But the one thing I love about God, if you're somebody on here, this is, I'm heartbroken. I've had a time in my life where I've been broken. God said in Romans 8:28, we know that scripture, we know nothing else, that all things work together. So everything in your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, even the relationships that you put yourself in, that God has allowed you to heal from, that God is healing you from, the relationships that you got heartbroken in, and you asking God to help you and fix you and mold you and make you. Even in that, God still has a way of escape to help it work out for your good. One of the things I do with my clients, to even align with that scripture, is you have to see the good in everybody that you were with, because at some point they may be somebody that you see deadbeat. They may be somebody you looking at saying, what was I thinking? Why was I this? Why was I that? But at one time, they were your ooh la la. They were your yin to your yang. They were the middle stuff into your Oreo. They were everything to you. So at one point in your life, you loved them. You thought that they were the one. And just because it didn't work, what worked? What worked with them that made you the person that you are? Everybody that you meet in your life and you come in contact with, whether they are for a lifetime or a season, and I'm going to slide and even say, even this is for people that's in life in general. This is, let me slide and be a mentor real quick. Everybody that came into your life for a purpose. You have to find out why they come into your life. What did they come to teach you? What did they come to make you better in, greater in? I'll go on the record to say, I remember when I dated a pastor years and years ago. And it was probably a year before I started Women of Healing, the prayer line. And one of the things that I did, I was always praying. I was always seeking God. I was always, praying for his ministry, praying. Well, before then, I didn't really have a prayer life. I knew what it was like to pray, but I didn't know what it was like to bask on my face and to be in the vein and to consecrate. I didn't know what it was like then. But when we broke up, one of the things I asked myself was, what did I do different? Or what was it different within me that I brought out of this relationship? And what I learned was, I learned how to have an intimate relationship with God. I tapped into the supernatural power of the Spirit, and I had an understanding of knowing how to get in the vein, how to pray, how to do different things. So I picked that up. And I left the relationship, but I said, I'm taking my prayer life with me. I'm taking the prayer warrior that I've learned and taught myself to be from this relationship into the next. And so it may be a thing of, you may not know how to cook. In the last relationship you were in taught you how to cook. You may not have known how to clean. The last relationship you were in taught you how to clean. You may not have known how to communicate. The last relationship taught you how to communicate. All those pieces of the puzzle are coming together, and it's strategically making a bigger puzzle called your marriage, called the man that God has for you. So a lot of you right now, you spend a lot of time dwelling on the past. You spend a lot of time trying to find fault in him. Well, he cheated. Okay. But what was it about him that you seen never said anything about? You wanted to date the potential of a man, but you never told the man the things that you felt. You never told the man, look, can you call? You never told them, you never acknowledged his lie. You just kept letting him lie and letting him do all these things. And before you knew it, that lie ended up in a big lie, and you ended up looking like the big fool. But some of you have to understand, it goes back to, what did you not do in your singleness while you are in God? Ask God to reveal those things to you. Ask God to tell you the things that he needs to tell you to make you the woman or the man that you need to be for your person that he has for you. Because when you are prepared, that's when God is going to propel you. And you're going to find yourself being in a relationship that's going to flow. It's going to flow so quickly. And a lot of people say, oh, I got to date and I got to figure out where I need to be in order for me to know if this is a person has for me. Let me tell you something. If God manifests things in his time, and then when God does it, he does it suddenly. Everything God does, he does it suddenly. When you are in God and you're prepared to do and be who God wants you to be, when God has that blessing for you, doesn't God goes and you walk on that car lot, and when your timing is there, that car is yours. When your timing is there, your body is healed. When you are in God and God moves in your life, God manifests everything that you need in your life suddenly. He doesn't have to take the time. He created the heaven and the earth in 7 days, and he put everything in it. He could have done it more quicker than that. He could have just said, I need the earth to be created, and it would have been done suddenly. But I believe in that time he was teaching us what the process of life is, that even though I'm going to do some things in your life, there's still going to be days, and there's still going to be time, and there's still going to be ways that I'm going to have to do things. And when the process is entered into the progress, you're moving towards the promise, and I'm going to propel you into the purpose that I have for you. So when God knows that you are prepared, he propels you. So then when you are prepared, God aligns you with who he has for you, and both of you are prepared. Trust me, you're not going to be dating for years on out trying to figure out if the spirit is still striving there. God's going to make sure you're already ready. So if you get with somebody and they say, you know what, I need to date you for a few years because I need to see, actually they're wanting to date you and everybody else to see who's going to pan out and who's going to be the best. You guys have to understand, ladies, you have not entered into this webinar on overcoming her today. You are not here to say, I'm getting myself together. I'm getting myself right. I'm checking myself before I wreck myself. I'm making sure I'm prepared. You have not put yourself in a position to be single and satisfied and saved in God and allowing God to do the things he's going to do in your life, just to jump into a relationship and be in a relationship for 5 years, waiting on this man to marry you. That's a sign right there that God doesn't put you in a relationship and have you lingering. The only way you don't get your blessing is if you're not passing your test. You're not doing the things that you need to do in order for God to bless you. It's the same thing with marriage and love. Don't feel like you got to be with somebody. You got to be their friend and they call you when they need prayer. No, that is somebody that you're a prayer warrior with. And ladies, while I have, before we even tap out, because I don't know what my time is, Simone, on overcoming her. I don't know what my time is, if I'm reaching my time on this webinar tonight, because us speakers, preachers, we can talk all day long. But let me just tell you guys this. One thing, you ladies, when just because you meet a guy in the church, just because you meet a guy that's a man of God, he doesn't mean he's your man. Stop putting a man that you meet into the category of husband. Every man that you meet is not your husband. You have to know, because a lot of you will make assignments out of somebody. A lot of you will make an assignment out of a prayer warrior. A lot of you will make assignment out of a friend. A lot of you will make an assignment out of somebody that God has not ordained for you to be with. When you know who you are and whose you are, when you know what God is trying to do in your life, you will not make an assignment. I'm sorry, you guys, it fell. You will not make an assignment out of somebody that God has not ordained you with. I'm sorry, you guys, my charger fell. I'm gonna have to pick it up. So that's one of the main things you guys have to realize. Stop making assignments out of people, all because you can't put them in the right category that they need to be in. All because right now you're feeling as though there's somebody that God has for you. All because you're vulnerable. All because you feel like, I've been praying and I've been seeking God and I've been wanting God to connect me with who He has for me. The enemy knows that you want to be in a relationship. The enemy knows that you want to be married. You know within yourself if you are 100% prepared to be in a relationship. If you're not 100% prepared to be in a relationship, don't even try to date. That's one of the things you guys have to understand. Don't waste your time all because you're trying to pass time. Because in passing time, one of the things you're going to understand is you're going to fall for some people that's going to bring you more tests. You're going to fall off that horse more than you're going to remain striding on that horse. I don't know if you want to open it up for questions or anything like that.
Absolutely. We are going to do some question and answer. So if you guys have any questions tonight for Rachel, definitely type them in the comments. And then I have one that I want to kind of get started with the question and answer process. So I know you mentioned when you first started that you can identify when you're not healed if you see the person that caused the pain. They make you angry, you kind of get tense and you running the other way in the grocery store. But how do you really know once you are healed? What does that look like? Can you tell us a little bit about that, Rachel?
What that feels like?
Yes, there you go.
It feels like a Lord, I thank you. It feels like an appreciation on a whole nother level. Not appreciation to say, I'm glad I'm not with you no more. But it's appreciation of, I'm glad that you came, but you went. It's a peace, not an anger. It's one that says, you in my life taught me a lot. And I'm ready to use the things that I learned from you. And I'm ready to apply that to the relationship that God has for me. When you can be at peace, when you can look at the person and you can thank the person for, knowing when their time is up. When you're not being spiteful, you're not being petty. But one of the things you want to do most importantly is thank them. You don't have to thank them, walk up to them, "Ooh, I thank you for what you did." No. When you see them, your stomach don't turn and you be like, "Lord, I thank you." Because you know that some things had to happen, whether it's something you did or whether it's something God allowed to happen. And now that it's happened in your life, it's going to cause something to be happening.
Wow.
And that something that's going to be happening is a blessing in disguise.
I cannot agree with that statement more than anything. For those of you that have been following for a while, that's had an opportunity to listen to some of my live streams, I've talked a little bit about some of my relationships in the past. And, when Rachel was referencing Romans 8 and 28, it was truly my foundation for overcoming her because all things ultimately will work together for your good. And coming out of, a horrible relationship with the guy that I was engaged to several years ago, we still went to the same church. So every time I would go to church, my stomach would be in knots. I would see him coming and I would tense up. And finally, I got to the point where after praying, after meditating about this, I said, Lord, I got to let this go. I said, I can't keep going like this. And eventually, it led to us sitting down to have a conversation. And after I was bold enough to initiate that conversation, I felt so much lighter. I felt so much freer. I could come and go freely and not have to worry about looking over my shoulder. So there is so much beauty in the other side of healing, and taking the time to just kind of spend some time with yourself, identify whatever lessons that needed to be learned in that particular situation, and then just moving on from it. So anybody have any questions, definitely type them in the chat box. I want to tell Rachel so much thank you for taking out some time to spend the time with us this afternoon. I hope everybody was enriched by that, encouraged by that. She definitely dropped some jewels. I was trying to write them down and type them into my phone and trying to make sure that I keep up with them as she was going. And so I truly appreciate you for this tonight. And if there are not any questions for us, I don't see anything coming in. If not, Rachel, do you want to close us out with something or anything else you want to say before we get off of here tonight?
Sure, ladies. One thing you guys have to understand is don't be so focused on February the 14th when God is trying to send you someone that's going to be your 365 days. A lot of people don't understand materialistic things, don't love. Having somebody to buy you something doesn't mean they care about you. Continue to keep yourself in preparation mode. Continue to ask God the things that get everything out of you that he wants out of you. So everything that needs to be in you for the relationship that he has for you will be in you. Because one thing I can truly say is it's a blessing in waiting. It's a blessing in getting prepared. It's a blessing in making sure you are everywhere that God wants you to be. So take yourself out. Get yourself hooked up. Go get your hair done, your nails done. And don't say, oh, I got to go out to eat by myself. No. Take yourself out to eat, because I said it on one of my other pages, Wifey in Training. I said this, and I'm going to say it again. You guys better enjoy all your singleness right now. If you want to go out and eat crawfish on Wednesday, go eat crawfish. If you want to eat steak and lobster, go eat steak and lobster by yourself. Because listen, when you get into a relationship, it's no longer about you. It's no longer about, next Valentine's year, you may want to go eat crawfish, but what if he's allergic to shellfish? So now you have to find something else to eat. You have to compromise. Relationships are about intertwining two people. Right now, it's just you. So live your life up. You may want to go out and go on a trip. Well, when you're in a relationship, you got to make sure you guys are financially able to go on a trip. You got to make sure if you have kids, if the kids are going to be taken care of. There's so many entities when you get into a relationship. Finding someone is preparation, but remaining married to them work. So you're still preparing and still working and still molding. So appreciate where you are right now, because a lot of you really haven't lived all of your singleness. And I'm not saying be like, what is it, Coming to America, where you're going to sow your royal oats? No. What I'm saying is you're enjoying your life. You're going where you want to go, when you want to go, how you want to go, and how long you want to be there. You're not checking in. So a lot of you will get married and be like, oh, Lord, I'm not used to having nobody tell me what to do. I'm not used to know. Go see it, everybody. I'm used to doing all these things. And then you feel some kind of way because you are not ready for that person to enter your space. That's things you have to be prepared for. Be prepared to live your life with somebody else. Make sure that, because already when you get into a relationship, you're going to have to understand who each other are. And understand, when you move in with one another and when you become married, you're going to have to understand who each other really are. So there are already things you're going to have to understand about each other. You know, you have to understand if they're going to leave the toilet seat down. You have to understand if they're going to have toothpaste. You have to understand if they're going to have, you know, hair everywhere. You have to already go with that. If you're going to leave your makeup all over the van, that's already something. Those are already trials that you're going to have to go through to make sure you guys can live together. But don't get to a point where you can't talk to nobody, because then it's going to be hard for you to convey that you don't like the toilet seat up. I'm not used to no toilet seat up. You let that toilet seat down. That's going to run that man off. But he's going to be like, well, dang, did I marry somebody else? Did the representative? That's why so many men feel like the representative was in the relationship in the beginning, because they get married and the woman becomes a different person. And that's not necessarily what the woman is trying to do, become a different person, but she's not prepared to talk to a man the way a man needs to be talked to. So I hope in this short period of time, I have enlightened a lot of you mental intellect on thinking about the things that you need to do to prepare yourself in being found. Because I know a lot of you are ready, but I want you guys to be prepared. Because me being someone that deal with marriages, and I would say that none of my clients are divorced, but I hate to see people come to me. It saddens me to know that their relationship is failing and they're possibly looking at divorce, all because they can't communicate with one another. And a lot of times when I go back to the relationship and we look over the past and we look over everything and we dissect and we get to the root of it, a man or a woman got into the relationship and they weren't healed from their past, or a man or woman got into a relationship and they really didn't know how to do relationship and didn't know how to do life and didn't know how to talk to one another. So I have to teach them, not only help them heal from situations, but I have to teach them how to communicate with each other all over again. So right now is your time. Right now is your time. And if I could do a shameless plug real quick, I am actually starting tomorrow doing a special. Valentines is 2/14. That's the day. The month is 2 as in February. The day is 14. My I'm Single Now What program is originally 1 month for $350. It's going to be 2/14. You guys can actually come a part of the program and work with me for 4 weeks, one-on-one. Once a week, 30 minutes a week, and it'll be you and I. We'll be more in depth into some of the things that I touched on tonight. And it's only $214 PayPal payable. So, yeah, I think somebody said they had a question.
Did somebody have a question? Did I miss it? Let me scroll up these comments and see if I see a question. Hold on. If you see it on your end, Rachel, definitely jump in. I see some comments, but no questions. I don't see anything on my end. Thank you again, Rachel, for
I thought somebody had a quick question.
What'd you see? Go for it. I don't see it on my end. Am I missing it?
I don't know how to look, participants. There's chat. Quick question. Recently, okay, I don't know if this is okay. Recently asked a guy why he doesn't have time to spend together. He said he's used to doing things by himself, so we do this phone talk all the time. We never do anything, not even to the movies. Is that normal? Just because we met, it's been 3 weeks. Okay, so let me say this. A man can commit to anything. A man is going to commit to who his favorite football team is, who his favorite basketball team is, what day he's going to wash his car, who's going to cut his hair, what day he's going to get his hair cut, who's his fantasy football team. He will do a contract on a vehicle. He will do a contract on a house. He knows what days he's going to spend with his kids, what days he's going to spend with his mom, what days he's going to spend with his homeboys. He can do anything that he wants to do. When he finds that woman that is making him be that man, or that woman that cannot live without, that's when he picks his face up and he says, okay, you know what? I need to get ready and do what I need to do to be in a relationship. This man is not ready to be in a relationship. If you remain in this relationship, you're going to remain and fall in love with the potential of this man. You're not going to be with this man. This man is not going to want you. He's going to treat you any kind of way because he feels like he got it like that. The Bible says when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. It doesn't say when a man finds a wife, he put her on the shelf and he comes back to get her whenever he wants to. When God put Adam to sleep, and when Adam woke up, because I believe that it was a spiritually aligned connection between him and Eve, where it reached in his belly to let him know he needed to get up. When he got up, he said, "Whoa, man." And he was connected to her from that moment. He didn't run off. He didn't run out of Eden. He didn't run away and say, "Let me just do me." I've been dealing with the fish of the sea and the birds of the air. I've been doing all this by myself. Let me just do me. No, he knew that, whoa, something has been given to me and it's a part of me. And so I need to be connected to that for the rest of my life. I have no problem with being connected to that for the rest of my life because I know it's a part of me. And when a man finds that woman, he's connected with her. He has not found that woman. Or if he has found that woman, he has not found it in you. So I'm telling you tonight, don't waste your time with him. Do not waste your time with him because you have been through too much in your life to go through more. We went through some lessons. We understand the blessings. Now it's time to reap the harvest of them. No more lessons in 2018. It's new beginnings. It's time to get everything that God has for you. And he doesn't have time for you to make an assignment out of a man that's letting you know 3 weeks in that he do everything by himself. So since you do everything by yourself, text yourself, call yourself, because you will have yourself and not me, if that answers your question. Sorry, y'all. I'm just real straight to the point. I don't know. I don't like to sugarcoat nothing.
Man, that's so direct, but that's so true, right? Guys will have you holding on to potential, doing just enough to just breadcrumb you along from, the text messages or the phone calls, but never truly, truly making themselves available. So, girl, don't waste your time with that. You're going to look up a year from now, 2 years from now, and you're still going to be in the same spot. So, don't do it. But anyway, is there anything else? I don't see any other questions here. I just don't want to miss anybody. If anybody has a question, please drop it in the box. If not, we are going to go ahead and wrap up for tonight. I just want to remind you guys, tomorrow I will actually be speaking to everybody tomorrow. We're going to be talking about identifying your purpose and walking in it. And so I think this is definitely a part of preparing for love, right? Like Rachel stated before God is going to send you that person, right? You have to be moving. You have to be moving in the direction that he's called you to. And so identifying that purpose, I truly believe, is after you're healed, it's that next step in that direction towards having that marriage and having that mate. And so I'm going to be talking personally about that tomorrow. Make sure you log on. Make sure you get here on time. I know that we had a few people that missed the link. So I'm going to be making sure that I send out the email link early tomorrow. So that way, hopefully nobody has any difficulties with it. But thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you so much again, Rachel. We truly appreciate you. I hope you guys learned something amazing tonight. I hope you guys had something that you could actually take away and apply to your life. That is the goal for what it is that you see us doing right now. And so I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.